Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Extra Extra. I have come hot-footed from a little field trip, which I'm going to tell you about. But I think, first of all, I should introduce my, I'm going to call him my guest. This is now my podcast episode. My guest, Joshua, and on screen has new middle names, David Lochlea Roth Hatton, as opposed to the usual Morrissey.
Yeah.
And I remain your regular Jessica Rabbit Guillermo Lomas. Give or take a rabbit, I think. Hi, Joshua.
Hi there. It's so nice to be a guest on your podcast. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. I think we should get down to this because, as we all know, I'll get angry correspondence from one Mr. Chilton if this is not a neat and tidy 35-ish, brackets-ish, podcast episode. Mm-hmm. So what I have here for us today is a little roundup from a visit to a distillery I went to the other week. I was at the Lochlea Distillery in Ayrshire doing a bit of manual labour.
Ooh.
So there you go, on record. Wow, we can debate about how much of that I actually did. But I was invited to the distillery by the lovely Alex Ferrand to see if I and any other willing victims / volunteers would like to come to Lochlea and help out with them and their malting of barley.
Ah, okay. Did you get a monkey shoulder?
I did not do enough work to get a monkey shoulder. Okay. If I'd really put more than my 3 minutes of manual labour in, possibly. Luckily, I was thinking about all the health and safety paperwork we would have to fill out, and obviously my delicate structure. So I was very careful. Yeah. Alex had messaged me about a month ago asking if we would like to go and help them with the malting. So Lochlea have for a couple of years been messing around with the concept of malting their own barley. That was a kind of pet project, I think, started by John Campbell a few years back. And it seems to be working quite nicely for them. So this is the first year that they have unleashed it onto selected general public. So I know that the day we went, there was a couple of guys from Royal Mile Whiskies. There were some guys from West Brewery were there. And on the other days, there have been various whiskey clubs around and about Glasgow and the area. And just a few other kind of people who'd be interested in seeing the process of that. Yeah. So when we arrived, they were on day 2, I think, of the malt being down on the floor. Okay. So they've got a big barn. And actually, when we went and interviewed them, when you and I and Jason, we went when we kind of accidentally doorstepped them in March. Yeah. Yep. So that big barn that we saw was full of all the barley. I think Alex said actually it only amounts to 40 casks, which for the amount of barley that was around about the place, 44 casks he said they would get out of it. So that's a week and a half's production. And they are going to do that later in the year. Okay. So it'll be taken. So we were there on the Friday and it was getting taken off the floor and dried at the neighbour's farm on the Sunday. But you can hear Alex explain that in a minute when we get into the interview. Okay. And so, it was a ton of fun. I took 3 of my friends. Thanks very much to Eddie for driving us, which allowed me to have a breakfast dram. Nothing is greater than arriving on a farm, seeing people doing manual labour, and the first question from Alex being, would you like a whiskey? So that was, it'd be very rude to say no, wouldn't it? I can only describe the scenes when we arrived. It looked like a bunch of school children at the beach. I'm going to be honest. Everybody was kind of doing their thing in different areas. There were some people with the old-fashioned rake. So if you've ever been to a distillery that do their own floor maltings, you'll have seen that where you drag it along. That's the bit of kit that is where the monkey shoulder illness isn't the word I mean.
Ailment isn't ailment.
Yeah, we'll go with ailment. Yeah. That's the piece of equipment that tends to cause that. There was also some people helping thin out the floor. So when you lay a malting floor down, as we're convincing the barley to start germinating, it also generates heat. And heat is bad because we don't want hot spots on the floor. We want it all to be kind of malting evenly. So that was kind of fun. There were some people helping thin that out, all under Alex's absolute expert guidance. And then, we did... I did 3 minutes and I chatted to Alex. Some people did loads of hard work. Shout out to Mark Connolly, who was definitely putting a shift in.
Oh, nice.
For those of you who may have met Mark over the years, he's involved in Glasgow Whiskey Festival and a whole bunch of other whiskey things. Yeah, so Mark was taking it much more seriously than I was. Those of you who have met Alex will know that he's ex-Marine, so he also is built like a man who could do the whole floor on his own anyway. And then we got a tour around the distillery, which was great. They weren't in production, so that's always a bit fun to go and see a distillery that's not currently in production, because you can touch and look into things that normally aren't open without the risk of getting your face steamed off or burning your hands on the stills. And then we went through the filling store. And then, we went into the warehouse, one of the warehouses, to have a little look at the casks and to have, a sneaky little sample or two.
Nice one.
And an opportunity to get your hands on an exclusive cask or a pair of casks that were only being sold on the day. So that was fun. And we also had a visit to the barley field where we looked at the barley growing and discussed what the farm were hoping to get from, the outturn. So it was a really nice way to spend most of a day.
Okay.
And for me, a tiny bit of manual labor.
And so you were one of how many? How many people were in attendance?
I would say that when we were there was maybe 30, but I do know that on the Saturday, Alex was talking about having 2 groups of 60.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they've done a good job of drumming up willing victims to come and help them with that.
And I apologize if this is answered in the interview. You could say, Josh, just wait for the interview. But is this them now switching over to 100% floor maltings, or
no? I can't remember whether or not we covered it. No, they're not going to do 100% floor maltings. I think it's just not viable. Yeah. They don't have the time. And because they're certainly not set up for being, malting their own on a bigger scale.
Oh, that's right, because they're using the neighbor's
they're using someone else's farm to dry it.
Mm-hmm.
They've got... there's like a drying machine, so it's probably not massively efficient for them to do it themselves. Yeah. Plus, they're only a really tiny team, so having loads of willing barley turners come up and honestly, I should have filmed us there. I've got lots of nice pictures I will definitely share in the Facebook group.
Cheers.
And some funny gifs of Flo, speed shuffling barley. But yeah, when I got there, it just looked like absolute carnage. It was a really fun, great idea. So full kudos to Alex, and thank you for inviting us. And I think he's kind of responsible for making it a bigger thing this year. And I think they'll do it again, because it was a ton of fun.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to listening.
Roll the tape.
Let's do it.
Hello everybody. Today I have a special little roving report for you, because I am here at Lochlea Distillery, a distillery which normally is not open to the public. So you're getting a very special sneak preview into something that I have done today. I have a special guest here with me who I will introduce in a second. And I just hope you can hear these birds who are behind us. It's very atmospheric. So this is a nice place to do a quick report from my big day out. I am here at Lochlea with Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Jess. Yeah.
Alex invited me and some friends here and a whole host of people to come and help you guys on a special project that you have started doing at the distillery. Do you want to tell people why we are here?
Yeah, go for it. So if you listen to the last podcast thing, we're a single estate distillery, so a farm distillery. So all the barley to make our whiskey is grown here, which you guys were walking around the fields last time. But what we don't do 100% on site yet is our maltings.
Yeah.
But for the last 5 years, under John Campbell's tutelage, we started doing a little bit of floor maltings with the last of the barley from the harvest the year beforehand. So it's terrible to describe, but you can't see it. What's laid out in our big barley barn right now was at least about 15 tons of dried barley. Now weighs about 30 tons because it is very, very wet. And it's now sitting here germinating and malting away. It's really, it smells amazing. It's really fun to do.
I wish I could give you the smell through these microphones. One day technology will catch up. But when we came and we effectively doorstepped Darren, we were on our way to Arran, but the ferries were off. And we popped in here and did a great interview with him. So if you have not listened to that, go back and find that. It's really interesting. But today we are here and we did come actually and stand in this barn. And when we came in, it was empty. Or maybe there was barley at the back of the
one little
shed.
pile in the back of that middle bit. That's the barley that's on the floor right now.
So what I'm looking at, and Alex is looking at that you can't see, is a whole ton of barley. And what we're creating here is the start of the malting. So the very start of the process that lots of distilleries don't do themselves. And when I arrived here today, we got stuck in traffic, so we're slightly behind. When we arrived here today, the scene in this barn, I can only describe, looked like a mad day out at the beach.
Yeah, it was fun. We need to have some umbrellas, and no one's done an angel in it yet, which I'm going to do tomorrow. I've got a tasting on tonight, so I got to still look a bit pretty.
I got shy.
I go for it. I'll do one like Saturday night on the last shift.
So in front of us, when we came in, there was a bunch of people who had spades off to the right, and they were helping level it. Straight in front of where we're both standing now, there were two people with traditional-looking rakes.
Yep.
And there was a whole bunch of kind of organised chaos. I felt like it was a beach day with maybe a PE sports day, and Alex was giving instructions.
It was not. It was like herding a couple of cats and just like, right, dig a hole there, flip that over.
It's good.
No, so we're on the second day of the barley being on the floor, and the weather's been really nice, so it's cooking a little bit faster than we would like. So we really needed to break out. It's getting really, really clumpy at the bottom. So we needed to make sure we were scraping it off the floor, turning it back on itself, and then we're going over it with the scarifier. So it actually looks really good right now, but it looks awful at the time.
I'm going to take a picture
of
it.
But it's nice having a bit of free labor is the whole reason I did this. I called this week Fear No Labor, which I thought if I just offer people a bunch of whiskey, they'll work for me for an hour.
Look, it worked.
It's worked
we were part of,
brilliantly.
my friends and I were part of a whole group of people. So what we've witnessed here is you guys have brought the barley in off the field, and did it have an initial little bit of drying, or did it come
so
straight
we dry it in that big silver container, the blower behind it. So we'll bring it down to about 12% moisture content.
Okay.
That's just kind of stabilizing it for long-term storage. That's what it is off the harvest in August, and that's how it sits in here until we start malting it or send it off to get malted. We then seeped it in a trailer for 3 days.
These are good pictures. You should look these up on Lochlea's Facebook and social
very
medias.
professional. We took our draft trailer, so it filled up 2 of those. We put a little bit of caulk in it to stop it from leaking.
Multi-purposing,
So we filled it up with the barley, filled it up with water. Kind of what we discovered is we want to simulate rainfall. So we fill it up in the evening, drain it fill it up in the evening, leave it full during the night, drain it in the morning, fill it up around noon, drain it in the evening, and then rinse and repeat. So the barley thinks it's raining. We did that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday at noon, we laid it on the floor in here. And then we've been turning it 3 times a day. Might be 4 times tonight. We'll see how we're looking. Definitely it's going to be 4 times tomorrow, because we're going to need to get in the evening. And then Sunday morning, it's going to go to our neighbors to get kilned on a wood drying floor, because we don't have a kiln.
It's really cool to see what you guys are doing. And I have been to a few distilleries, and I've also had a chance to play a barley gym, is what I'm calling this. So I did have some, not that I've done a lot of it today, I did have some professional instruction on manual malting and like how to turn this floor. As we're looking at it now, it looks really lovely and tidy. We've got a nice even floor. I was told that if it's cold, which weirdly for Scotland it's not today, we want to bank the malt up a little bit higher. And if it's hot like it is today, we want to spread it out. So
as
I think
thin as possible.
part of the crazy scene I saw with the spades.
Exactly. So that was a problem we ran into last night. So I keep saying they see it. So the top corner of the barn right there, we laid it on a little bit thick because it's near the door, so it usually gets quite a bit of airflow in it.
Yeah.
So instead we want it about 3 to 4 inches deep.
Okay.
That was about 6 inches deep, and it was really getting clumpy and too hot. So it's the germination's going a little bit too fast.
What I think is amazing is, I've done it at various spots around in this barn in front of us. When you put your hand in the malt, it's really warm.
Yeah.
You kind of It's strange, I've been joking about this and been laughed at, that sometimes when I'm in a warehouse, if you touch a cask, it feels like it should be warm because things are happening.
Yeah.
And obviously the casks are not warm.
It's a lot more active in here.
It is actually actively warm, and it's quite nice when you put your hand in.
Yeah.
So what's happening, I guess, is we're trying to trick the barley into a form of germination. So they've got little, I'll take pictures and share them. It's got little roots coming out of it. So it's kind of trying to almost start growing.
It is starting to grow.
But we don't want it to go too far because then there's no sugars for us.
So it's all this protein and starch in the raw barley kernel. So why we malt barley is that protein and starch start breaking down and creating sugar. That sugar is energy for the barley stem to grow. So we want to trick it to just at the point where the roots are about the length of the kernel and the shoot, the green, is just starting to come out the top. That's when we want to kiln it off because that's when there's the most sugar in the barley itself.
Yeah. And if it goes too far, then I guess we don't have enough sugars to make the important stuff.
Exactly, it's wastage. Yeah, because all that energy is now being used to grow roots that I can't turn into alcohol because I just want the kernels.
That's true. If it went too far, what would happen?
We would lose a lot of yield.
And a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. It's going to go down, a lot of effort more than money. It's been paid for. We grow it. It's our cost per ton is pretty cheap.
I was quite stressed at the concept that me and a whole bunch of people that I'm holding jointly reliable to this are here at the very early stage, potentially causing a bit of mischief.
If this gets ruined, this is going to be all my fault because I've invited people. Oh. And there goes Alex.
We'll be fine, Alex. We'll try really hard.
No, it'll be great. No. And it's also, so there's only really 4 of us here that do the maltings. So it's myself, Darren, the manager, Liam, and Bryce. So at 8 o'clock this morning, it was just the 4 of us doing all this.
That's a lot of work.
And you have to do it 3 or 4 times a day. It's a lot of work. So it's nice having a bit of hands.
When you did this last year, I don't think it was as warm as this.
No,
was it?
It was hotter. So because it was such a nice stretch, we actually pulled the barley out onto the driveway.
Oh, wow.
Because it was going so quick.
Right.
Because we really need to thin that, but we're getting a bit of rain, so we needed to push it in this year.
Yeah, we actually, as I was walking to pick up my friends this morning, it started raining, and I was like, how have we cursed ourselves?
Dumping down. It's actually good for us because the hotter it is, the quicker this is going to go. And it's going a little bit too quickly, so the weather cooling down just a touch. I mean, it's still 18 degrees today. It's not
cold, but we've come down a bit.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more usable.
That's great.
Where it was like 23 on Wednesday, and it was brutal in here.
Right. So. If it grows quicker, do you have to turn it more often?
Yes. Technically no, but we do because we don't want it to become too carpeted, or the roots of the shoot start growing together and really, really clumpy. And that is no good for us. We want to keep it as clean as possible. So that's why we turn it. So that's why tonight and definitely Saturday, we're going to turn it 4 times rather than 3.
Okay, that's great. If you are, so you said this is destined to be dried and kilned on Sunday.
Yep.
When is this going to be turned into whiskey or spirit?
So we're going to put it, we have our little malt bin, we'll put it in its own separate container. I think it's going to, I need to actually talk to Darren about that. It's either going to be our first week or our last week of making whiskey. So everything you see out here, this is about a week and a half of production. This will fill about 40.
I will put pictures of this up. I can't visualize in my head.
Yeah.
This looks like quite I'd say a medium-sized shed. The idea of this just being a week and a half is either not enough or ages, and I can't decide which it is.
You should see some pictures. So we'll post them up when the harvest happens at probably mid-August. So all 3 of these bays are just full to the brim. Yeah. And you can stand here, like this is an entire year of production at Lochlea.
That's really crazy.
And you see it throughout the year as the barley keeps going away. It's like less and less and less. And then you get to that last little pile in the corner. But this will fill about 40 casks of whiskey.
See now, so when you put cask
numbers
it's a lot easier.
That
doesn't sound like a lot. 40 casks, and I'd say there's like 3 big bays. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's quite a bit of whiskey, but some distilleries, obviously, on the other end of the scale to you guys, 40 casks is, I don't know, like a morning's production, if even that, like an hour's production, the really big boys. The idea of that being spaced over a week and a half, I guess, is...
And the amount of work we put into it to fill 40 barrels of whiskey.
and the hard work of all of us plonkers who decided that we would come and help you play in a strange beach.
It's fun to see. It's fun to do. But the flavor we get out of this is phenomenal.
Okay, that's good. So that was the question I had.
There's quite a bit. I'll give you a little sample if we have time. I'll give you a little sample of some. But we have the difference in our floor malted and non-floor malted is quite good. So this is a little bit oilier and fruitier, where our non-floor malted is a little bit brighter and creamier. So it's a bit denser, heavier of a spirit. I don't quite know why it does that. Darren does, so that's a better question for that.
If I was better at science, or we could bully Darren, when I've been at Bowmore, they also see a marked difference between their own floor malt and the brought in from commercial maltsters, the difference in their spirit. So there clearly is something in it. Obviously, I really like the idea of here we've got the identity. Behind us here, we've got the fields where this barley is coming off. It's in front of me with lots of sparrows singing to us.
The stills,
and
the
stills
warehouse.
are over there, and the warehouse we just came from. So
we want to spin in a circle and see every stage from beginning to end of Lochlea, from from the fields it's grown on to the whiskey in the warehouse, and should be able to see that all in one place. And I don't know, that's what makes us awesome. That's way too romantic about it, but it's what makes this place beautiful.
It's a little bit romantic, but I like the idea of it. I think in the whiskey industry, there's space for everybody. Small scale like you guys, where it's all based on one farm, and then we have bigger distilleries that can handle the big demands and requests for the volume of the liquid that they're producing. I think there's space for everybody, and I love whiskies of all sizes, but especially as a cask owner, it's really exciting to come here and see this happening and having a little I'm going to be honest, listeners, I did like 5 minutes work, but it was really
that's all we needed.
I was also greeted by Alex with, would you like a whiskey? I mean, that's where he fell down on this. He gave me the treats before doing the work, and then I just took pictures of my friends doing work. But I have dragged a plough, I've done one stripe, so I'm claiming that as real
It's
work.
at least 1% of the work.
That's very kind. I think for anybody who's not had a chance to pull a rake through a big bed of barley as it's being sort of set in its early stages of germination like this, it looks very easy. And if you've been to a distillery, you have definitely seen people who do this for many hours a day making it look very easy. I can tell you it's not.
It's not, no.
It's really hard to get it. I think I had like a good technique for pulling it, but I wasn't doing it in a perfectly straight line, which irritated me because I want it to be a nice...
My lines are always a bit wonky.
It was a wonky line. There's a rhythm. That's
why we go over it with the Scarifier. It hides all of our mistakes.
I was going to say, when the rest of us amateurs had finished doing this, we were all evacuated to look at the fields, and the real pros came in behind us and tidied it up, and it looks as nice as it does now. But I appreciate being given the opportunity.
Yeah, appreciate the help.
Yeah, well,
from everybody. Yeah,
I really enjoyed this, and I think this has added an extra little fun twist to my enjoyment of Lochlea anyway. So
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks to the team for looking after us. I won't lie, there were some very generous drams afterwards.
As there should be.
And of course,
you got to reward the work.
All right, listeners, when he says work, honestly, I'm sure Alex has done more work on this floor than the 20 of us that are here. So thank you very much. I will keep you guys updated as to some exciting Lochlea coming later in the year. And until then, cheers, Alex. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Jess. Yeah, thanks.
Cheers. So, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the plans for the malting at Lochlea. And I hope that conveys how much fun we had. We really did enjoy ourselves. It was a really fun way to spend a bit of time on a distillery. I mean, who doesn't like spending time at a distillery?
Yeah, that was great to hear. And I remember being back there in March and wanting to meet Alex and listening back to it. It was interesting to hear an American accent.
Yeah.
Right? Our people are everywhere, Jess.
I know, you're almost like as good as the Yorkshire. We're definitely everywhere. You're nearly everywhere. And fun fact, Alex is Alex at Lochlea. His fiancée is Libby at Glasgow Distillery, who has also been on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When I went over to Glasgow to talk to her and Niall. So
okay,
now you've had a pair.
Yeah, very
so
cool.
It's a nearly Yorkshire connection.
Okay.
He's a fan of Yorkshire people too, clearly.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was very cool, and it has me excited for some things we've got coming down the pipe. I'll leave it there. Little vague bookery.
I like it. There. I also had the opportunity to go while I was there and give my cask a little pat and tell it to behave itself, because I have a cask of Lochlea. It's got some lovely spiders on it, and I'm very happy for that. So the spiders can protect my cask. Thank you very much. And I got the opportunity. I did mention as well the casks that we could get little exclusive 500 or 200 ml bottles taken directly from the cask. There was a nice Oloroso sherry, but I picked the bourbon because I think Lochlean bourbon is brilliant. It's got so much texture and it's really creamy. So
Yeah.
if that's the direction that my cask is going in, which is also a bourbon cask, then I am very happy. So I'd be delighted to see it continue on that path.
How old's your cask?
2. So it's only a little itty bitty baby. Okay. It's not even whiskey yet.
And so with your cask, do you have plans for it? Is like with their, every distillery has sort of different programs, different plans. Some of them say, we'll hold your cask for 10 years. Like what are your plans for your own Lochlea cask?
It's on a fairly standard agreement for now, 10 years. And we'll see what that looks like. I'm happy for it to just mature slowly. I've got no rush, no plans to do anything yet. I'm looking forward to when I get to try it when it's legally 3. That's going to be fun. And then I guess, just take your time, little baby, sleep away in the warehouse. That's fine. No rush for me. But the single casks that I brought back, the sample that we got the opportunity to buy is 6-ish, I think. Okay. And it's absolutely delicious. So that's kind of 2/3 of the way to being a 10-year-old. Yeah. Like I say, if mine's going in that direction, I'll be super happy.
Their spirit is just getting better and better. I think that 5 to 6 year time frame, the fruit is really popping. I really like the texture. Like you had said, the texture and their spirit is it's off the charts. It's so good. It's such a nice spirit.
It's a delight, an absolute delight.
Yep.
So that was my exciting little trip to Lochlea. I hope to, if any other distilleries want somebody to come and do a token amount of manual labor whilst making sarcastic comments and filming other people doing the manual labor, I am open for business. I'm all ears. You can find me and I will come along and I'll bring pad cost equipment and snacks. I had baked cookies to match with the whiskey that I knew we would get to try. So I had taken apple and cinnamon cookies with me, which goes so well with the Lochlean bourbon. So,
oh my gosh,
that was my bribery as a thank you to Alex, and to something to keep him going, and to keep us all going as we sweated our brows.
I'm both thirsty and hungry now.
Yeah, sorry. You have to. It must be somewhere after 12 for you. You can crack on into a whiskey. Go for it.
I think I will too. I think, it's almost 12. I think come 12:01, I will crack a whiskey. I think I deserve it, Jess.
That's well after 12, 12:01. After we're not here to judge. This is a safe space,
right? It's part of our job. I was doing an event just last week. In just outside of DC in a town called Middleburg. And it was with this guy, Jay West, puts on an event. He's also known as Take, T8KE. He and I are pals. We went on a tour of Fife. Ah, there you go. There you go. Okay, so you know him well. And I'm sure there are a lot of listeners who know Jay. And why am I bringing up this event? Jeepers Creepers. What the heck? What did you say before? Why am I bringing up
we were
this event?
We were talking about drinking after 12 o'clock. Clearly,
yes,
this is your problem. You've not had a drink yet.
That was it. Yeah. So that is my problem. So I'm setting up for the event. I get it all ready. And first thing I do is I have a dram delivered to me by Tom Smith, who's with Scotch Malt Whiskey Society America, and he delivers to me a Bunnahabhain, right? And I'm just sitting there and I'm nosing it and I'm tasting it, and it's, it is past 12. It was maybe 1 o'clock or so, and there's just people standing to the side of me, and they're like, "Drinking on the job, huh?" I'm like, think about our job. This is like, our job is to drink on the job. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
well,
our job, but we, you know.
To be contrary, I have to spend most of my time convincing people I am not drinking on the job.
True, but we get to when we need to drink on the job.
Yeah, educational,
like part of it,
we're not enjoying
educational, right?
It's
No, never
quality
enjoy
assessment,
it. Yeah.
Developmental learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it for a second when I'm drinking on the job. Oh no.
No, I don't absolutely adore waking up in the morning and assessing casks and seeing if they're absolutely delicious enough to bottle. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
That's why when I frequently get asked, do you like whiskey? I laugh in their face and say, God, no, thank you.
Whiskey. What a thing, huh?
It's my favorite thing to then laugh and be like, can you imagine doing this job if you did hate whiskey? What a horrible job this would be.
Do you think there's got to be people in this industry who don't like whiskey, but they're in whiskey?
Yeah. Secretly, I like, not another day. Oh, another cask sample.
No.
Oh, another evening of talking about whiskey. Oh, what a horrible world that would be.
Oh my gosh. There's so many people who are like, who said, oh God, I wish I can get out of my career so I can get into the whiskey industry. I want to do what you do. You imagine someone in the whiskey industry is like, oh gosh, I wish I could do, I want to pump gas, or I want to, insert anything that isn't, not to upset anybody who's a gas pumper. But what's that?
Someone who works in a garden centre, like completely unrelated to it.
Completely unrelated. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I wouldn't mind working in a garden centre. I think that'd be quite nice.
Well, maybe people in garden centres well, you can say that when you've moved 100 wheelbarrows of topsoil.
Right. The grass is always greener on the other side.
Yes, I think so. Except I think on our side, it is just a little teeny tiny bit greener.
Just a little greener. Yeah. Well, Jess, this has been awesome. It was really nice hearing from Alex and knowing that you've done a little bit of work there. You've turned some grain that will become whiskey.
Yeah, the end of the 2026 vintage, if it's particularly good, I'll know that 3 minutes of its existence is thanks to me. Not the team who are absolute experts in what they're doing, and the sourcing of top-notch casks and the careful maturation. It's my 3 minutes of being there with a rake, doing an up and a down.
That's all it takes.
That's all it needs.
Right?
Indeed.
All right. Did you have anything else before we got out of here? I don't want to step on your toes. This is your podcast, after all.
I've already put out my appeal for somebody who needs a maximum of 5 minutes work inputting. So these people know how to find me. But otherwise, I will see you on my next adventure.
Okay. And for those that are watching, because we will put this, even though this was audio, for the interview portion, we'll have some pictures going up in rotation.
Yeah, I'll send you some nice pictures, and you can look at the gentle chaos and the beautiful scenes. The distillery is in it's lovely, picturesque Ayrshire area. So I'll send you some outer shots of the distillery too.
That's great. So, so those that are watching, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you must do that now. For those that are listening,
you must.
You need to start watching. I mean, you don't need to, but you really should, because it's pretty good. And that's it. I guess we'll leave it there, Jess.
Okay. See you on the flip side.
See you on the flippity flop.
Bye.
Cheers.